Hey guys, welcome back. Today I just wanted to kind of catch up with you. I know it's been forever since I've been on YouTube and catching everybody up, so I wanted to give you a little bit of an update on how everybody is doing. In the intro, you will have seen Bella and Cassidy playing out in the snow and Libel destroying Bella's little snow angel. So funny. It's been so flipping cold. It's been so cold. And I know you guys were kind of all in the same boat. I mean, the entire country is just so cold right now. This morning, when we went out to go do chores, it was probably about -1, I think. I think I took a screenshot of that. Golly, I think the lowest we got down to this year, maybe in the -20s, something like that. Something crazy. The birds are doing good. It's just really cold. So they spend all of their time in the shed. So if you see that clip in the beginning, it's gross in there. I swear we just gave them new straw a few days ago. They just spend so much time in there because it's so cold. There's just no way to keep on top of it. I think we might try another method. Next year we'll either build a new coop or do something. I don't know. It's going to be an exciting year of projects. Richard is now on day shift, so we can get more stuff done on his days off because he doesn't have to like flip-flop his schedule anymore. And I can be in my office upstairs in the middle of the day because he's either awake or he's at work. So tons of changes. The girls are still homeschooled. They are loving it. They're doing so good. So many new concepts are being learned. And reading, Cassidy, golly, she has read so many books. She just turned into this little bookworm. She says she's her mom. She's like, she's just like me. I'm like, you bookworm out, both of you. I love it. So she's super excited about reading a new book series. Her favorite book series right now, she's 13. Her favorite book series right now is a series, oh darn, what's it called? Hang on, let me look it up. So Cassidy is very into a series right now. It's by J.E. Rivy, and she is, like I said, 13 years old. It is, I love the way that they promote it. Little House on the Prairie meets Anne of Green Gables in the middle of the American Revolution. And it's the story of a young girl named Mercy and her life living through the American Revolution. So it just really makes history come alive. Cassidy's been loving that. There are 6 books out right now. The 7th one is, I think, the rough draft or a draft is now done. So she's super excited about that. We have all kinds of books that she's been really into lately. So the girls are doing wonderful. We have been super, super involved in church. We are there 2 to 3, sometimes more times a week at church. Loving our new friends, loving all of the things that we have going on. Everything has just been incredible lately. The weather's gross, but yeah, it's still in the negatives or very low single digits right now, but the sun is out and my windows, we have huge windows all on one side of the house and the sun just comes in all winter long. As long as the sun is out, I can open the curtains and it lets in the most incredible heat, and the carpet and the floor feels so nice. So we've been loving that. The stove has been a lifesaver this year. It's been phenomenal to keep the entire house, just takes that chill off. Then when you're sitting right next to it, it's just blazing hot. I'm trying to think. Just tons of stuff. Just so many things, so many changes. But everything's been so incredibly good. trying to think of other things. We're just kind of waiting for spring. Last year I did a garden, my very first garden ever. I think I tried to garden in California and it did not go well. It was awful. Everything was eaten or dug up, or I think I ended up with some spinach. I think that was about all I had. So this year our garden was beautiful. Oh, I loved it. We are gonna do things differently this year. I will probably make videos about that. I think we're gonna try seed snails for starting seeds this year. Excited about that. We have to clean out the greenhouse though. The greenhouse, y'all, there is such a story with that greenhouse. I decided that we were gonna try hay bale gardening in the greenhouse. And my logic was sound, because when you're processing the hay bales and getting them to kind of start breaking down and turning into compost in the middle, you use a nitrogen fertilizer, you sprinkle it on top, and you water it. And every other day for 20 some odd days, I want to say, you are out there and you are checking the temperature and you are watering these, like saturating these bales down, because they get so hot from the compost process of breaking everything down and all the little microbes and everything. So it heats the greenhouse on its own. Brilliant. And I saw a video a long time ago from HT Survival, maybe, on YouTube, where they built this giant greenhouse and then she did the hay bales and she processed them in this greenhouse down in Louisiana, I think. Alabama? I don't remember. I gotta grab my blanket. Hang on, let me grab my blanket. So she did a ton of hay bales and warmed up the greenhouse with the hay bales, and it worked super good. And then she took all the plastic off come summertime and put up netting. Amazing. And I'm going, I want to do that. I want to try that. We've got this little greenhouse. We'll go ahead and do that for that. So we get the bales in there, and we've got them all processed and everything's going great. We even planted some stuff in them, and then they kind of got forgotten about because it wasn't my top priority, and I had delegated it to a teenager, which then it kind of like fell by the wayside. And then winter came. We didn't get much. I don't know if we got anything off the hay bales. And winter came, and it was cold, and I had ducks outside of, now they're back in the animal pens. They're all back in the animal pens because I am done. I'm so tired. No more free range. No more tick control out here because I am so tired of losing birds. So we had ducks that were out here by the creek and living their best life, but they kept getting destroyed. There was a family of raccoons that went through. It was awful. So to save their lives, we put them back over with the other birds in the pen, and there was turkeys in there. The turkeys formed what was called a breeding pod, is what a friend of mine had said. I've never heard of it. I couldn't even find it online, but she said she's been raising turkeys for 30 years. It's very rare, but mine ended up forming what's called a breeding pod. And they basically want to destroy every other breeding bird because they want to be the ones that survive. So then my ducks started getting slaughtered inside the pen. And we came out one day, gorgeous white turkey standing on top of a duck ripping its neck out. So in order to save my little duckies' lives, because my little duckies are like my little college kids and they're hilarious, but they're so clueless sometimes. So you round them up and you catch them all, and we put them in the greenhouse. I just want to keep the ducks alive. So we put the ducks into the greenhouse, and I sacrificed my winter/fall garden to the ducks so that they could survive. They ate everything. They had the cutest little pond in there. We put a little thing in there. They destroyed it. It was awful. It was so messy. the compost in there, I'm sure, is phenomenal. So now I'm going to take it and put it out on the actual garden. But I need to clean it out. We're going to start seed snails. Yeah, probably like a month. I don't know. I got to look. There is a channel on YouTube, and then she's got Facebook stuff. She has Instagram, all kinds of places. London's Priorities. I love her channel. I absolutely love her content. She gives away so much stuff for free. She shows you how to do really cheap gardening. And yeah, it's work. 100% it's work. It's not, just buy this $1,000 setup and stick your seeds in and call it good. Like it's a lot of work, but I absolutely love her. I adore her. I love her content. She's lately been talking a lot more about Jesus, about God, and it just warms my heart. I love it, which is actually one of the reasons I came back to YouTube, because I feel like our lives are in such a good place right now, and I want to share that. I want to share about all the good things in our lives, and all of it comes back to God. Like literally all of it does. So I recommend her. I highly recommend her channel. You can go check her out for anything gardening, but we're going to try seed snails. We're going to start those in a couple weeks. I got to look. There's a whole print up on her page, londonspriorities.com, I want to say. And I will link that below. I'll try to link all of her stuff because I want to give her all the credit. She's been doing this for 20 some odd years, and she knows so much. She's just such a wealth of information. So I'm going to look and see when to plant the seeds for below ground crops or a certain phase of the moon, because the gravitational pull is different. And then the above ground crops, you plant them different times. And I'm super excited to try it. I want to try it all. And then in the garden last year, we mowed and we tilled. And then partway through the season, I was so over the weeds. It was awful. So then we started adding grass clippings as mulch. So I'm not going to do that the same way this year. My current thought process is kind of more of a back to Eden type, I guess is the best way I could call it. So my plan is, because there's always there's native grasses that grow up in there. So they've kind of broken up the roots or the soil with their root systems and things like that. And I'm going to knock down the grass and put a tarp over it for like a month so that it kills it really well. And then I'm going to plant my seed starts out there in between the grass. That's going to kind of be my mulch. And then I discovered a company called Chip Drop through London's Priorities, and they will bring you free wood chips to use as mulch for your garden. And if you put enough mulch on top of that and you wait for your really good rains that are coming, it'll hold water and slowly release it back into the soil, keeps the soil temperature down, like all these things. So we're going to try a totally different approach for gardening this year. We're going to see what happens. I kind of wanted to see what my garden was capable of without amendments, without fertilization, without anything. I wanted to see what would happen. We got the cutest little, the cutest little squashes. They are butternut squash. They're like the size of my hand. That's it. And they're so cute. I only have one left and I'm waiting for it. There's buttercup squashes, winter crust buttercup. Oh, they were so good. So many things. I have a freezer full of tomatoes still that I still need to process, because tomatoes, something about this property loves tomatoes. I actually have a ton of dead tomatoes right outside my front door. One year when the chickens were still free range, we threw out some little tomatoes from the store, and they've grown ever since. It's amazing. So you can literally walk outside my front door, and it's supposed to be in the rocks, which are manicured, and I let the entire thing go wild now. We will cut down the grass. We will mow the grass because the ticks get really bad if we don't do that. But the rocks and all of that, I just let it go wild, because some of the most amazing plants have been popping up in those areas. I had 2 little stalks of corn that tried to come up last year. Just so much fun stuff. So we're kind of waiting. We're waiting for spring and summer to do all of the amazing things again. Definitely going to spend lots of time in the woods. We've gotten pretty good at foraging our mushrooms. We now know where a lot of our big specific mushroom patches are. So I can take you guys out for that. Just kind of some fun stuff here and there. We still do tons of plants and foraging and making tinctures and teas and all kinds of things like that. I have tea bags in here today, but a lot of times I make my own tea, just kind of whatever I'm in the mood for, or if we're sick, things like that. Speaking of tea, I can smell it and I want to taste it. Yeah, I can't really think of much else. There's a ton. There's always going to be a lot, but those are kind of the highlights right now. I want to just kind of have a little bit of a tea and chat to catch up, to let you guys know where we are. I think the next video I'm going to do is going to be a little bit more of a structured, almost kind of more of a heavy video, but not in a bad way. I have had a request to do a video on biblical wife and what a biblical wife looks like. And it's kind of a heavy hitter, and I'm going to try to keep these videos a little bit shorter, but I don't think it's going to work. I might have to actually do another follow-up series to dig deeper and go further into what does it actually look like and how do I apply it to my life, because that is what has changed so much of our lives. The break that I took from YouTube, I really needed to get myself situated. I needed to figure out where my priorities were, how to balance things, and this last year has been such an incredible time in my life. My kids have seen a huge difference. My husband has, friends have, just everything has changed so much for the good. And I definitely want to share that with you guys. But to start out, I really do need to share kind of the shift that I've made personally in my own life and the effect that it's had on my entire family. So I think it's going to be the next video, but I just wanted to kind of give you a follow-up, let you know how everything is going. If I forgot something, ask down below and I will try to answer your questions. The coolest things in life sometimes come from the most unexpected places. So for me, it's been working out in the dirt, being with my animals, taking care of them, even when it's -1 outside and we're all bundled up. We can find the most beautiful things in nature. And I just feel so blessed to be on this journey, to get to experience God's provision and see the beauty of his creation every day, in every season, in every different way possible. So I'd love for you guys to come along with me. And if you are new here, consider subscribing. I would love to hear your comments and answer your questions. Go ahead and stick those down below, and I will get that video up for you guys about a biblical life and kind of share with you the biggest change on this journey that I've been on. So I will see you guys on the way. And then we turn it off. I don't think there's anything else. I don't think there is. I don't know. I'm just gonna go drink my tea. I don't know. I'm a nerd. I'm okay with that. I'll get that video up for you guys. Hello, owner. That's what my computer says. It calls me owner. Isn't that cute? It's gonna take a minute to come to life. Facebook. I've been blocked from my Facebook account? I don't think so. Oh, I've entered an old password. Oh dear. Wow. The password was changed 4 years ago. Oh my gosh, that is so funny. Changed my password 4 years ago.